consists of 3 apartments. Okay, so I've got this hallway which has its own separate door, and somebody called from outside the hallway. I opened the flat door to just peek around and find out who it is. And I saw like a policeman, and I was like, my mom is very anxious, so she was always warning me about things, and I'm not saying it's bad. Anxiety is not pleasant, but I was always informed of potential bad stuff. So I peeked outside the flat door, but I didn't come out into the hallway, and I didn't let the man in. I guess it was asking something about like, are there any adults home? Are your parents home? But I think I was like clever enough to say that someone was home, and like my dad, but just couldn't. But like my dad couldn't answer the door. Yeah, and I just closed the door. But I genuinely believed it was a policeman. Okay, I didn't know that people could fake stuff like uniform and like pretend to be someone else. Yeah, well, I was just about 7 years old, so it's okay. But I guess I already had a mobile phone, or I just used the home phone, but I called my mom, or she called me, whatever, and I told her about that case, that some man in police uniform came to us, and I opened the door. I know it sounds awful, it sounds terrifying, like I would have gone mad probably if my kid told me that they opened the door to some unknown man. But I told my mom about it, and evidently she freaked out, which is, well, yeah, something pretty expectable. Luckily my grandmother lived in a house nearby, so she had like 10 minutes walking distance, and my mom called her and she came rushing in to protect the child. Yeah, so I was safe because I was clever enough not to open the door, because later that day, probably when my parents already came home or something, a rumor went around the apartment block that there has been a series of robbery. Okay, I don't know about the exact terms for like robbing a house, but there was a series of robbing some flats. So you guess where it's heading. So there was a fake policeman walking around the house and trying to see if anyone was home, and a child opened the door, and if I weren't cautious enough not to open the hallway door, who knows what might have become of me. Maybe I would even be dead by then too. Yeah, that was a pretty creepy stuff. And I think my whole life proves that you should always warn your children about bad stuff that might happen, so that they would be ready. You don't need to scare them, no, but you warn them that something like this and this might happen, and it would be bad because of this and this, and you should be, if you see this and this, you should be ready to do something. So yeah, you guess where I'm heading. So the second story is called Creepy Older Guy Calling Me Off the Playground. Okay, so the story is from a few years later. So yeah, I was in the playground in the yard near my apartment block, and I had a couple of like male friends. They were just around my age or maybe a year older. But anyways, we were just buddies, and we spent the whole summer together, like playing, watching anime, walking, blah blah blah. So you're just hanging around basically, and we were in the playground, like throwing some ball. Suddenly some guy a few years older, like he was I don't know, maybe 16 probably, but he was a significantly older teenager. And yeah, so the weird thing was he didn't just try to chat me up. He was also trying to like isolate me from the boys. Like he was trying to get me on my own, okay? And it was pretty evident to everyone. And so basically what he was leaning towards, he was trying to chat me up on my own, and like estrange me from the boys. And he was always like nagging me to go alone with him to the forest. We've got a forest type park nearby. It was like mostly a walking place where people just run, cycle, walk, whatever. So it's not like woods, dark forest without any humans. But still, I guess it was a weekday, so not many people around, and he was trying to isolate me from the boys. That's what was weird back then. And like he was considerably older, like I don't know, maybe I would sound ageist, but I don't care. I think that it's odd to see an older teenager, like a boy in his like about 16, 17 years old. What would that kind of person who's nearly grown up want from an 18-year-old girl who's just like blah blah, I play basketball, watch anime, blah blah? Like, what would we have in common and stuff? Like, yeah, so that's the second thing that was weird. And the third thing was that he was trying to lead me away, like, okay, if you want to hang around with me, stay here, we can stay here, we can go to a shop or whatever. I was warned by my mother to stay in public places. I didn't agree to go with anyone to a place where there would hardly be any people in sight. So yeah, so I declined, but he was so insistent that I just had to, in order to make him piss off, I just had to be pretty rude and just tell him straightforward, like, I don't like it how you treat me, and can you please piss off? And I don't want to know you, I don't want to chat with you, so just go away and leave me alone. Yeah, but there was like the boys were trying to like tell me some weird rumors that walk around about this boy, that he always tries to get girls alone. And again, I was 11. What would a grown guy want from me at that time? So that's the story. So we're on to the third story, which I called The Boy Hit by a Car. Well, it sounds pretty obvious, okay? And it was, but the sight was pretty scary. So, it happened near my great-grandmother's house. And until the most recent years, like a year or two back, really busy, and whenever we visited my grandma, I always knew that there were cars running around like pretty fast. So yeah, it was a dangerous place, and it still bizarres me to this day why there was never any traffic lights set up or whatever. But yeah, so that day I saw a clear indicator that such a thing was necessary, because I was pretty young as well, maybe around primary school too, I don't know, so around the same age, not older. And my dad and I were just standing somewhere nearby that pedestrian crossing area, and there were some boys trying to cross the road, and evidently one of them, I know, maybe he didn't see the car, or the driver didn't see him, or whatever. I don't think the boy was trying to run across the road, and anyway, it's a pedestrian crossing, so everybody should slow down beside it, shouldn't they? I know, you tell me, but I think they should. So the boy was hit by a car, obviously. I think the driver stopped, but I'm not sure, whatever. It was a scary sight. So after the hit, the boy just lay there. He didn't get up. At first I thought, oh my god, is he dead? Luckily he wasn't dead. So an ambulance arrived shortly after, and I saw them put him on a stretcher, obviously, and they put some kind of bandage around his leg, and I'm not sure if he was conscious at all, but the whole thing looked very scary, and I don't know, probably that's when I realized how bad it can be, how vulnerable people are. I can't, honestly, I just can't watch people do something harmful towards others, because I know how easy it is to break and even kill someone, and just to do something risky on purpose for the fun of it sounds mad to me. It sounds crazy. Okay, so my pacifist speech over. We're on to we're on to story number 4, which I was trying to choose the right word, and I'm not sure what will be more applicable to the species that I'm about to mention, but I called it the flock or horde of stray dogs. So yeah, at the time when I was a kid, I was somewhere around, I don't know, 11 again. I was walking home from school, and well, it's pretty straightforward. So at some point, a few dogs, stray dogs, I think, but well, I can't be sure, but I think they were stray, because I didn't see any people around holding leashes or something. So they ran at me very angrily, not to just play around with me or something, but angrily, aggressively. And I'm honestly scared of unfamiliar dogs. To this day, I don't panic, but I am nervous when I have to encounter stuff like that. And yeah, so I froze. Just like on the spot. No. I think at first I ran. But then I probably remembered something about my parents or someone else telling me stuff about dogs, like don't show them you're scared, like they can smell your your fear, and so probably that was the point when I stopped running. I turned around to face them, and I was like a bit frozen, but I definitely remember that I looked one of them in the eyes, like probably the one who was running the first, and I looked it in the eyes, and I said very firmly, very strictly, like in my language it's like for, so it's like basically to stop, to not do something, like just a standard sound, like command for dogs, and they stopped, and that's what happened. I don't have any more recollections about this. This is just how I remembered it. Okay? I don't know. Maybe it was something else. I have no idea. But that's just how I remember it. Yeah. Okay. I guess this video is turning out to be a bit short. So let me think of some other creepy stuff that happened to me, or around me, or whatever. Well, I can honestly, right on the spot, I can remember something about the summer camp. So, at one of the camps where I was sent, it was located right in the middle of the forest. And there was a little part of the forest coming onto the territory of the camp. It was beside a river, so the one side was the river and the other side was the forest, and that's where the fence basically laid. And there was right at that foresty territory, there was a place where there should have been like a fence door, but there was no door. It was just an empty space that you can come through at any time. So no bars blocking. It was the kids' camp, so I don't know how they let it happen. This was pretty scary. I know some, we had each summer there was a group of kids from like an orphanage coming to stay, and some of them were pretty reckless. I don't know what they wanted to achieve. I know, because I doubt they felt bad at the camp, like nobody really did anything bad to them, but some of them were always trying to run away, and sometimes they succeeded in getting to the nearest highway, and can you imagine what might have happened to them if they stumble across someone with ill intent? But evidently they got caught at the right time. But yeah, but once there was a rumor that some kid from the camp went astray, like they left through that gap in the fence, and apparently they were murdered in the forest somewhere outside the camp. Yeah, pretty awful stuff. Well, I heard it. Maybe it was just like the city legend or whatever, but I hope it is. But I don't know for sure. I've never tried searching it up. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's it. some scary stories from me. Let me know if they were really scary, or maybe I'm just making things up and it's not interesting at all. Yeah, if you would like to, you can share your personal scary stories in the comment section. Well, and I guess that's it. So thank you for listening, and yeah, again, let me know what you think. And I hope that none of you or your significant others ever get into situations like these or any others. Like, just, I hope everyone stays safe and sound,